Hey everyone, this is my Patreon proud reaction to the 10th episode of Kantai Collection. Now, last episode, Yudachi, she was glowing, and apparently it was time to give her a bit of an upgrade, remodel her a bit, and I'd say she looked pretty good afterwards. Although this kind of got Fubuki to go down a path of sadness. Well, I guess it was mostly suddenly being relocated. That kind of was really what sparked that, but basically, yeah, she was feeling down on herself, but people were kind of helping her out. And turns out our main base was just kind of attacked while we were gone, so that's unfortunate. But it seems like Fubuki, if I remember the end of the last episode correctly, they said something about Fubuki actually being remodeled or something. So yeah, let's see how that turns out. 3, 2, 1, play. As always. Oof! Don't work too hard. I like how she says that right after I said don't work too hard. But yeah, basically I had to rebuild what got broke, so that was probably expensive to do. Yeah. Yes, you are very special. We need you, Fubuki. Yes, there's no reason to feel sad. Well, I mean, there's some reasons to feel sad, but still don't. We're gonna remodel you well, Fubuki. Yeah, Fubuki does like to run, as you can see in the opening. And I really can't decide which uniform I like the best. I mean, they're all so good. I really love Kongo's. I mean, if I had to pick a favorite, it probably would be, Kongo squads. But they're all so good. It's just every time Naka does the hardest she fires, it gets me every time. It makes it feel like she's shooting the enemy with her love, which I'm sure they would appreciate. Let's do our best. Ganbatte ikimashou. Yeah, probably. Well. I assume so. Makes sense, we haven't talked about those issues we've had. You would know better than I would. Oh, wow. Position. That just hurt me. Okay. I get what you're doing now. Are you okay, Akatsuki? Well, you should also get some sleep. That probably helps as well. And yeah, here we go. Some target practice. pretty good, honestly. She hasn't missed once. I mean, it seems like it would be a pain to, like, replace those targets when they're broken. Like, having to put them back out into the water. What's on your mind, Mutsuki? Do you think she's overworking herself as well? Trying too hard, pushing herself too much? Because that was a meaningful look. Mamiya. Of course. Just don't overdo it, Fubuki. Akagi. Oh, wow, she must be in a hurry if she practically ignores Akagi. I know, right? I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking the exact same thing. I think we should always go as deep as we can. Well, I mean, you never really wear clothes, Shimakaze, so of course you're cold. Yeah. That's cute. It better not be a subtle burn towards Fubuki. She's great. I think she has something special deep within her. Oh, I didn't even think about that, but that'd be funny. Good point. That was a great little pose she had there. Wow, she's cute. I couldn't get much more flirty than that. Oh, Naka. Hey, no. I like that. Don't discourage her. I mean, it would be less quiet if you would let Naka do her thing. Oh, there's an enemy. Well, let's shoot it. Naga the idol. Oh, don't have to tell me twice. Well, again, let's shoot them. Yes, that's our plan. Well, this might actually be more difficult than I thought. But Naka gives me faith that everything will be okay. Again, Fubuki, don't push yourself too much. I don't want you getting hurt. I like you a lot. Okay, there you go. A solid hit, but I don't know how much damage it did. Yeah, don't go out on your own. This is what I was worried about, Fubuki. Doesn't do anyone any good if you get yourself sunk. Come on. I was worried we would get a scene like this. Come on, Fubuki, you can't take any more hits like that. Come on, somebody just help her, please. Don't get that close. Somebody gonna jump in the way? Well, if we're back at the docks, it's a good sign that she didn't die. Okay. So I'm so worried somebody jumped in the way of that shot. Well, if anyone did it, it would be Mutsuki, but she seems... oh, she seems fine. Okay. Yeah, that's why I was so worried. And I like the naked hug we're having here. Yeah. Okay, I can live with that as long as the enemy missed too. Somebody needs to have a talk with her. Yeah, what makes this much more sad is that Mutsuki's had to deal with someone close to her sinking before. Yeah. Yeah, you really need to get some perspective, Fubuki. Hopefully Fubuki, you know, can make up with Mutsuki. I don't think you need to ask. I think she's more than willing to do it. Just a feeling I have. That was... it's not a no. How do you not understand? She makes it pretty obvious how she feels about you. Oh. Oh well. Oh well. Don't yell at the moon. The moon did nothing wrong. If anything, it was the clouds that are to blame. I mean, I get how she feels, but she was still in the wrong for doing that. You don't just rush on ahead 5 feet away from your enemy to shoot at him when you're almost sunk. You don't do that. If that's the sin I think it is, I remember that. Because you're my preference. What? I guess that's a good enough reason. I guess we know who the Admiral's waifu is. I guess that explains a lot. No. Yeah, that's definitely explains that. That's all that matters when you're playing a waifu game. That's honestly really funny. uh, I'm sure if the Admiral could pull you out of the game, he'd have plenty of uses for you. Well, that's barely a handhold. Okay, there we go. Well, that was a very nice scene. I quite enjoyed that. Especially because of the implications there. You know, about the Admiral. Because I have this mental image in my head of the Admiral, you know, the player playing the game, and it's just funny seeing the perspective of the characters about his decisions, trying to rationalize them and stuff. Okay. Back to our morning jog. I think so. Well, if it's a request from you, I think she'll do it. Oh yeah, I should mention that. I'm sure she will. I'd be shocked if she wasn't willing. I think it'll be fine. I'm gonna test you to see if you're good enough for a Akagi. Wearing the right goggles, you can very easily look at this as a love triangle scene. Let's see how she fares with Kaga's test. Uh-huh. Yeah, here we go. Some pretty good AA. But not good enough, I guess. She's out in the water getting tested by Kaga. Is she alive? I don't think she would give up. She's not really the kind that gives up. Especially if it involves Akagi. Okay, that wasn't the best accuracy ever. Man, if this keeps up, we might have another trip to the docks. Uh, let's... We still need to stop before it gets too bad. I don't know how much more damage you can take. Not much, it looks like. Well, she's a little bit banged up now. I remember that. Yes. Remember that as well. I mean, it would be hard to stand up on water, but... It kind of looked like one of her barrels were limp there. So... I don't know how much she can shoot in this condition. Oh, there we go. That one hit. Just one more. That should hit probably. There we go. Okay, we got him. Oof. You can really feel that impact there. She's not sunk, so it should be fine. Oh, she's glowing. I guess it's time. She may be banged up, but she's glowing. I mean, you don't look that different, but... you look nice, though. Yeah, okay. So it's not just me. It might just be some subtle changes. I mean, I might have to look at them side by side to really see the differences, but you look nice. But yeah, it's not like, you know, that kind of difference. But you look fine, Fubuki. You're plenty cute. Okay. So we did succeed there. I mean, after all that effort, I would say so. Oh, Fubuki. It feels like they managed to put a lot of stuff into this episode. Because Fubuki's his waifu, we already established that. And of course, if he likes Fubuki, he wouldn't want to change her appearance too much, you know, so that makes sense as well. So, you know, you'll have to live with that, Fubuki. But yeah, it just becomes a lot funnier if I just imagine the Admiral outside of the game screen making those decisions. But you know, I really enjoy this anime. I don't know why it's not more popular. I mean, of course, I would enjoy it more if I was, you know, a player of the game. I don't doubt that, but it's still pretty enjoyable. A great cast of characters. Definitely a lot of character development with our main character, Fubuki. Plenty of cuteness, plenty of comedy. I mean, I guess there's not a huge amount of plot other than, hey, let's do our best as ship girls and beat up the targets and the missions we're given. I mean, I guess there's not really a lot of plot beyond that, but Operation MI starts. Okay, that was the 10th episode of Kantai Collection. And this episode, definitely a Fubuki-focused episode. I mean, she is kind of the main girl, so a lot of episodes are kind of Fubuki-focused, but this episode especially, we really just went full-on into her character. Now, it's always been kind of her thing where she's not super confident in herself. You know, she was kind of, even the first episode, she was decided that she would, you know, suddenly join the action, despite the fact that she'd never been on any missions before, and, you know, wasn't really all that good at basic things like, you know, I don't want to say swimming, but doesn't really swim. You know, what would you say, floating? Being on the water, you know, battling enemies, she wasn't really good at that, but she was just suddenly thrown into a mission with other ships. And, you know, a lot of those little things make more sense now that we know that Fubuki's the Admiral's waifu. That makes a lot more sense on a lot of these little things. So that's just been funny because a lot of people have been asking questions like, why Fubuki? You know, why me? Why? And yeah, we have our answer now. But yeah, Fubuki is trying really hard because she was told last episode that she's gonna get remodeled, so she needs to raise her skill level. So she needs to do a lot of training, which meant a lot of jogging, Very focused on that jogging to the point where she straight up ignores Akagi when she came by, which, yeah, that surprised me. It surprised Kaga clearly as well. And I do like how other people acknowledge that Fubuki loves Akagi. I like how that just seems to be common sense. I mean, that makes sense because she's not exactly subtle about it, but it's just kind of funny to me. And Fubuki trying really, really hard. And we also had, well, Mutsuki. Mutsuki, she's kind of been noticing Fubuki pushing herself too much. I mean, it's pretty obvious. But where this really came to a head was when they went out on a bit of a mission. And, you know, just the original squad, you know, we were not doing our, you know, silly squad forms anymore. We're actually kind of back to our original third torpedo squad, whatever it was called, you know, with all the, you know, Sendai, Jinsu, Naka, Mutsuki, Fubuki, who else was it? Yudachi, you know, the normal cast there for their squad. They seemed to all be back together again for that mission, and they ran into some enemies. But this is where it went wrong because Fubuki decided to push herself too much, try too hard to, you know, get results in this, and it just ended up with her getting really banged up and not much more than that. She almost got sank. Like, I was legit concerned. Like, I was really worried because it was just, the scene was definitely coming across as potential for things to go wrong. Luckily, things didn't go wrong. Luckily, the enemy missed because I don't know if I could handle Fubuki sinking there. And it just had really upset Mutsuki. And we know why. She's had to deal with a close friend sinking before. And, I mean, that was obvious. She didn't have to actually say it out loud, but, I mean, I guess she kind of needed to for you know, Fubuki's sake, but still, the audience pretty much already knew why it upset Mutsuki so much. She did not want to go through that again. And when we saw her in the docks, Mutsuki went towards her, hugged her in the bath, and basically told her all her feelings on the subject, just crying, and it was just a really sad thing to watch. Luckily, we were able to have just a heart-to-heart between the two of them on the cliff, talking things through, which is a great little scene there. Especially because that was a scene that actually started to address, you know, why Fubuki, and we kind of got our answer there. And yeah, from that point on, we kind of got Fubuki to be a bit more level-headed, like, more reasonable position. Although we did have a scene after that where Akagi offered the position of her escort to Fubuki, but Kaga was not really a big fan of that. She's not confident in Fubuki's ability to really do a good job with that because Akagi is super important. We can't really afford to have her sunk. Like, that could be a change in the tide. That's that big of a deal. You don't want to have Akagi get sunk. So she's really pretty concerned about that. And, you know, Kaga's just one of the many people that aren't fully convinced with Fubuki's abilities. Same with Nagato, because you had that fun little cute scene between, you know, Nagato and the other girl. So, yeah, that's kind of also been a theme here. Other people asking that question about why Fubuki. But basically what Fubuki had to do was prove herself to Kaga that she was good enough to handle the mission. And for a while that wasn't going super well, but after some yelled words of encouragement, she actually did pretty well, and she took down all the fighter planes and got knocked back down to shore, so luckily she didn't have to worry about, you know, sailing. That's the word I was looking for, sailing. I don't know why I blanked on that earlier. Sailing, that's what ships do. They don't swim. They sail. Anyway, she sailed, you know, back over to the shore. And then, you know, I take it she went back to the docks after that. But that was pretty much that. We also had a scene where, I mean, it could just be the subtitlers that did that, but there was this really terrible pun where they went position with Yudachi. And that was painful, man. That was something. That was something, though. But, yeah, also Fubuki, I almost forgot to mention this, but yeah, Fubuki got remodeled, but she doesn't actually look that different. I mean, there's some small changes that other people noticed, but I guess Fubuki was hoping for more. I think she was hoping for more of a drastic change, a bit, you know, maybe you look a bit more like Yudachi, you know, if you know what I mean. But I think she looks fine. Like, she looks pretty good. As long as her stats are raised, which is something you can't really see physically, you know, stats. So as long as those have been raised, which I assume they have, you know, she should be more valuable. So that's all good. And I think she could be a fine escort for Akagi. You know, she loves her, so she clearly has motivation to protect and defend Akagi. So I think that probably should have been taken a bit more into consideration from Kaga, you know, that aspect of it. But of course, I guess it's not that big of a deal if she can't shoot, you know, well enough to defend. But anyway, my point is Fubuki is a pretty good choice for escort for Akagi. That's kind of my overall point. But, yeah, I mean, that was pretty much the episode. Oh yeah, we had a little scene between Oichi and Kitakami where she was like, "Hey, it's dark, so do you want to hold hands?" "Oh, well, I don't know, maybe." "Oh, well, if you don't want to, that's fine." No, I want to. And then the moon came out. "Oh, it's bright enough. Oh, never mind, we don't need to hold hands." Like, damn you, moon, I'm gonna shoot you to death. Which, you know, that wouldn't work. The moon's a little bit too far away. You know, you're not Piccolo, you can't just destroy the moon out of anger. But, you know, it's not even the moon's fault, it's the cloud's fault, but I guess Oichi's not really going to be that rational during that scene. But, yeah, some pretty nice moments here and there throughout the episode. I would say it's probably one of the better episodes, like maybe top 5. I mean, that's not saying a lot with 10 episodes, but you know what I mean. It's really good to see Fubuki working so hard to improve herself, and then realizing she shouldn't do it too hard. She shouldn't, like, risk herself getting sank. Like, it was really, really reckless to get that close to the enemy ship just because of the logic, hey, if I get really close to it, there's no way I can miss, right? I mean, that was the gist of her logic by getting that close to it. It's just like, no, Fubuki, you were being extremely reckless there. Like, that's recklessness that would cause you to get punished. I mean, honestly, that's just not okay. But, yeah, can you imagine how upset Admiral would be if she sank? Like, I think he'd be pretty upset. Just saying. But yeah, that was the episode. Good episode. Thank you for watching, and a special thanks to Cnouki for supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, I hope you consider clicking the like button and leaving a comment, because that's a great and easy way to let me know that people want more. If you want to do something big to help the channel, you can support me on Patreon and get nice benefits like early access to certain videos. See you next time.